Hello, curious sippers. So what a situation Justin Bieber is in this time. And only almost a year after he announced that he wanted to make amends? Wow. And we say this because if anything has characterized the Canadian's career, or at least it has been for some time now, it is undoubtedly the scandal and controversy. However, now he didn't beat up any fans or get kicked out of some protected archaeological site for not respecting more than 800 years old stuff. No, this time it's much more serious. Believe me, you don't want to miss this video, which I will tell you all about the delicate accusations against Justin. So please subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications and stay with us. That's right guys, around 2015 and 2016, and also a little bit before and right after, well, the point is that just a few years ago, Justin didn't stop being in the news everywhere, and not precisely because of his musical success, but because of his, let's call it bad choices. But well, none of that compares to the tremendous troubles he's in now. As it turns out that two fans, or perhaps we should say ex-fans, are accusing him of abusing them, and one was in 2014 and the other in 2015. But before we get into that sensitive subject, let's take a brief look at his turbulent past and the things that led him to open up with his fans almost a year ago. In September of last year, Justin was going through a real transformation and decided to open his heart to his millions of followers, and as it turns out, in an effort to perform a kind of self-healing act, the singer posted a very personal and quite revealing message on Instagram, and as among other things, he talked about his contact with fame when he was still very young. But no doubt, what surprised everyone most was when he mentioned how forbidden substances almost ruined his life completely. To give you an idea of how deep Justin wanted to be with his fans, he started his message with the following description. I hope you find time to read this. It's from my heart. But the singer didn't forget to give his wife the recognition that he deserved, because after he opened up to his fans, he said that his marriage to Hailey Baldwin had literally saved his life, because thanks to her, he had acquired new healthy habits. But what were the exact confessions that Justin Bieber included in his message? The Canadian began his publication by talking about quite sensitive issues. He mentioned how difficult it was for him to get out of bed in the morning with a good attitude since he was not happy with the life he was leading, nor with his past. So for that reason, he was empathetic to those people who felt that their life was so full of problems that they had reached to the point of no longer wanting to live. And according to his words, at some point in his life, he himself had been unable to see life from another, much less gloomy perspective. But fortunately, he met people who helped him to move forward. Justin also admitted that in those difficult times, he had even had to struggle with depression, and he said that he dared to talk about his mental health because he hoped his story would help others who were going through the same thing. And by the way, it wasn't the first time that Bieber had talked openly about such issues in his life, as he had already confessed to his fans earlier of last year that anxiety was consuming him. Justin also confessed that his world had been completely transformed when he was still very young, and in just 2 years he went from being a 13-year-old boy from a small Canadian town to an international teen idolized and praised by millions. And on top of that, Bieber also mentioned that he never learned anything about responsibility since he always had those who did almost everything for him. So when he was a young adult, the singer lacked basic tools to face the real world. And oh yes, but he had already had several $1 million in his account and automatic access to literally anything he wanted. And it is precisely around those years that the events of which he's being accused happened. Bieber himself admitted that at 20 years old, he had already made all the bad decisions that he could have never imagined. And yes, we remember that too, my dear Justin. The singer went from being one of the most acclaimed and loved idols of the moment to one of the most judged and hated celebrities on the planet. And no, as I told you at the beginning, I'm not going to focus on all of that time that he punched a fan in Barcelona or the occasion when he went expelled from the Mayan ruins of Tulum in Mexico and for not respecting the rules. No. Unfortunately, that time has to come to talk about more serious things. So Danielle and Katie are the names of the two girls who claim that the Canadian singer abused them. To give you an idea of how serious and raw the accusations are, Danielle's testimony shared on her social networks begins as follows. "If he comes across this, you know who I am. I know you'll remember me. I hope your life is a living hell and that you drown in guilt." According to her, it all happened on March 9th of 2014 in Houston, Texas. And according to Danielle, she and two other friends heard from Scooter, Justin's manager, that the singer was hosting an event in Austin that night and decided to go. At the exclusive event, which was attended by about 100 people, someone approached her and her friends and asked if they wanted to meet Justin personally after the show. I mean, come on, seriously, do you think they would say no to that? It's obviously a rhetorical question. At the end of the event, supposedly the singer came over and took a couple of pictures with them, and they talked for a few minutes. After that, Justin and another guy invited them to the Four Seasons Hotel, and they accepted. Once they were at the hotel, the other guy took Danielle's friends so that she and Justin could be alone in the singer's room. And according to the girl, he made her promise that whatever happened that night would stay between the two of them. And he took her cell phone with the excuse that he would put it in the charger, and then he took her to bed. According to Danielle, she asked him several times about Selena Gomez, who Justin was dating at the time, and he told her not to worry and that she'd get there later. Suddenly, without saying a word, he supposedly kissed her, and although at first she was completely shocked, she couldn't help but continue. It should not be noted that, according to herself, she was a little overdrunk. Alright, I know, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, guys, but there's no need to do this. The only thing that I'll tell you is that, according to Danielle, from kisses they went to, much more adult things. And speaking of not being too explicit, Danielle herself ended her publication with the following sentence: "I don't want to go into the details of what happened next. Although this was 6 years ago. Although I was 1 year older than him, he was 20 and I was 21, I was still sexually assaulted without my consent." And by the way, shortly after an accusation was published, the Twitter account from which it came from was removed. Katie, the alleged second victim, said that in her case, everything happened on the afternoon of May 4th of 2015 in New York, and it was allegedly Mikey, Justin's bodyguard, who gave her his phone number and then invited her and 5 other girls to the Langham Hotel where the singer was staying. And when they arrived, she started to try to socialize with everyone, but obviously the one she wanted to talk to was Justin, so she started joking with him while talking to him in French, and she didn't imagine that that would make the singer supposedly lose control of himself. The reason is that, according to her, with the excuse of not listening to her well, Justin asked her to get closer, and when she did, he grabbed her hand and pulled her towards him, making her fall on his chest. And when they crossed eyes, he kissed her and began to grope her. When that happened, Katie ran into the bathroom, but Justin just went in after and closed the door. She asked him what he was doing, and he started kissing and groping her again. Even though she told him that she didn't believe in premarital intimacy, he supposedly pushed her head into the bed, pinned her down, and well, the point is that to get him out, Katie allegedly pushed him and hit him where it hurts a man the most. And no, I'm not talking about his pride. According to her, it wasn't until 2017, inspired and encouraged by the wave provoked by the #MeToo movement, that she decided to speak publicly about it. But after the hate messages received from the singer's fans, she decided to erase her accusation. Given the seriousness of both allegations, what has Justin said on the subject? Well, he certainly spoke out, and quite forcefully. In a post on his Twitter account, Justin said the following: "I don't normally address things as I have dealt with random accusations my entire career, but after talking to my wife and team, I have decided to speak up on an issue tonight. Rumors are rumors. But sexual abuse is something I don't take lightly. I wanted to speak out right away, but out of respect to so many victims who deal with these issues daily, I wanted to make sure I gathered the facts before I made any statement." And he took the gathering part like too seriously indeed, since in addition to assuring that he had been with his then partner Selena Gomez on March 9th and 10th of 2014, in his message he included news links, receipts, emails, and photos that proved his claims. Although, well, that only referred to Danielle's case. Maybe he's still gathering the evidence to talk about the second case. How about you guys? What do you have to say about all of this? Do you think that this pair of girls' accusations are false and they're just looking to get famous by damaging Justin's image? Or do you think they're telling the truth? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out all of our content. And I really hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye!